So one of the most common questions after a high-dose psychedelic experience is, how do I take care of myself the day after, 2 days after, or even 3 days after a psychedelic experience? Whether the compound or substance is ketamine, MDMA, psilocybin, LSD, ayahuasca, wachuma, 5-MeO-DMT, there's some commonalities there, and there's also some differences that we'll get into in this video. The one thing that I will emphasize is that rest is important, especially if you're doing these higher doses of psychedelics. There's a lot that you're bringing your body and brain through. Remember, your brain consumes 25% of your calories. And so when you work with psychedelics, it's being activated that much more, which is taking a lot of energy. So first and foremost, allow yourself to rest. Allow yourself to chill. Allow yourself to be with. There's nothing to do. There's nothing to rush. Now, when it comes to substance specific, ketamine usually only lasts for an hour and a half to 2 hours. Typically, what I recommend, not only for ketamine, but all of these substances, is to take the supplement NAC. It really helps with cleaning out the body. What you can also do in the evenings, again, whether it's ketamine, MDMA, LSD, psilocybin, is take magnesium. Magnesium will help the body to calm down. So with something like ketamine, it usually lasts for an hour and a half or 2 hours. People might notice the next day they're a little lethargic, or if they've had a big catharsis, they've had a huge emotional release, if they've maybe confronted some trauma, they may feel very sensitive. And so for the day, 2 days, 3 days after, what I always recommend is spend a lot of time in nature, take baths, Epsom salt baths, maybe do a sauna, right? Keep a lot of heat on the body, keep a lot of relaxation on the body. Don't just dive back into that doing mind, that analytical mind, because for so many people, the healing of these experiences comes from turning that off and shifting lenses and perspectives. Now, when it comes to MDMA, a lot of people talk about the next day blues. And that's because there's a massive dump of serotonin, oxytocin, and dopamine when you're doing MDMA. But the even bigger reason why people don't feel great for the next day or 2 days or 3 days after MDMA is because of a lack of sleep. So if you are anticipating working with MDMA in an intentional way, I highly recommend starting earlier in the day. Start at noon or 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. The later you start, the worse, because the later you start, the later you'll be up. A lot of people talk about, I did MDMA and I was up till 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. and now I can't figure out why I don't feel great the next day. It's not explicitly because of the MDMA, but again, it comes back to rest. It's because you didn't let your body rest and sleep. And because MDMA has that methamphetamine component, it's slightly more stimulating. So the next day, continue to take more magnesium. 5-HTP is great for the next day. There's a website called rollsafe.org that has a whole list of supplements that you can take before, during, and after. So specifically for MDMA comedowns, take it early in the day. Try to get to bed before midnight. Take magnesium at night, and then follow a regimen of supplements for the next few days. When it comes to the other classic psychedelics, tryptamines like psilocybin or ayahuasca or DMT, or LSD, the lysergamides, or even mescaline and the phenethylamines, a lot of these work the same. So again, just like what I mentioned with MDMA, with LSD and mescaline, each of these lasts for 12 hours. So if you're going to work with either of these substances, do so early on in the day. The earlier you start, the better, because if you take LSD at 5 p.m., the chances of going to bed before 2 a.m. are pretty slim, and that's going to lead to a not so great effect the next day. Psilocybin is about 6 hours, so that can be a little more flexible. Same with ayahuasca. So again, pay attention to those sleep cycles. And I would say the same for LSD, DMT, psilocybin, ayahuasca is take magnesium in the evening and take NAC for the next few days after to overall help with the come down. Right now, if you can't find a rhyme or reason, you're going to bed early, you're still not feeling great the next day, you took LSD early in the day, or you took psilocybin early in the day, you're still not feeling great the next day, then it might be down to the type of medicine you're sourcing and how clean is the medicine. Not all psilocybin mushrooms are the same. Not all LSD is the same. Not all MDMA is the same. And so what also matters a lot is the purity and the quality of the substances that you're working with. So just double and triple check to make sure that you're working with a powder, that it is what they say it is, MDMA or ketamine. That if you're working with LSD, that you've tested it, that you know it's a great source, because the quality of the medicine will also have a big impact on how you feel. Last final thing that I'll note is sometimes I do like to take athletic greens or another green potion the next day, because oftentimes the energetics of everything that's been swept in and opened up with a high dose psychedelic experience, it's a lot to go through. And so we release a lot. So yes, the 5-HTP is helpful, and yes, the NAC is helpful, and yes, the rest is helpful, but also sometimes a potion like athletic greens is really helpful just to get our vitamins and minerals back up. So this is a short video on comedowns. Remember, rest matters most. Secondary to that are supplements, and tertiary to that are baths and time in nature and just resting and relaxing for those first few days after a high dose experience. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. The psychedelic space is evolving every day, and we have a ton of amazing content that's coming out, and subscribing is the best way to keep up to date with all of that great content.